I believe you agree with me that the Bible has one of the most fascinating characters in any story. Like you would see different characters, the hilarious ones, the badass, the ones that are that you probably would wonder if the story is real or not. You just have a lot of characters. Having read the Bible from the beginning to the end, I found some characters that I feel it is worth reacting to. So let's get fully into the video. I would also love to know if there is any character in the Bible that you would also want to react to. Probably the one that you love so much or the one that you hate so much. I would love to know. Do well to drop it in the comment section. So let's get into it. My first character today are the daughters of Zelophehad. A lot of people who have not truly read their Bible, most especially in the Old Testament, you would see a lot of funny names. And one of those funny names are the daughters of Zelophehad. A lot of people do not talk about them much, but some people talk about them, but a lot of people do not really know the daughters of Zelophehad. Majorly because the Old Testament sometimes can be a boring read, most especially Leviticus and Numbers. And you just see a lot of things that just get you very bored, most especially when they start talking about lineage and all of those stuff like that. So people just get bored naturally. But the daughters of Zelophehad, if you read the book of Numbers, you would find them there. And the fascinating story about them is that we all know that in the Old Testament it is mostly dominated by men. When I mean dominated by men, I mean women are not necessarily given a chance. When Jacob was about to escape Laban, at the time they wanted to escape, you would see when the daughters were saying like, no, we know that we do not have anything to get staying with our father, so whatever it is that you have gotten, let's go with it. And this is because they know that they don't have any inheritance as ladies. But the daughters of Zelophehad did something very beautiful, is that they stood their ground. They went to Moses and said to Moses, because our father doesn't have a male child doesn't necessarily mean that the inheritance that he has should be given to other people, and because they are ladies they do not deserve it. They fought and they won. The Lord said they won the battle. It's just like taking Moses to court and saying that, yeah, I'll plead my case, and if I win the case, you give me the land. And that was how they got the land and they got the inheritance. And I think that was a badass move, courageous badass move. That's one of the favorite characters of the Bible that I like due to their courage and their resilience to fight and stand for what they want. You can call them the feminists of this time and age, just that sometimes feminism has turned into something else. But you get the point of it, person. Character number two, Daniel. Daniel as a character majorly is also a fascinating one. There are many fascinating stories about that of Daniel, but the one that I find quite intriguing in all of his stories was the time when the king sent his guards to go kill all of the magicians because they could not tell him his dream. When the guards got to Daniel, Daniel with wisdom told them, calm down, take me to the king. And when he got to the king, he told the king, calm down, give me 2 days or give me a little time. Let me go and seek for the answers and I'll bring answers for you. And I think this is a very courageous thing. It's a very courageous thing because it takes audacity to tell to the king, because at the time the kings, once they say yes, their yes is yes. Once they say no, their no is no. So it was quite an audacity for him to say to the king that give me 2 days, because he knows if he fails in 2 days, he's going to die. There is no two ways about it, right? It took confidence, and for him to say that, king, calm down, calm down, calm down. I have the solution that you need, right? It's quite interesting, and I really find that story quite suiting. That is my second character, and yeah, my third character is Paul, Apostle Paul. We all know Paul to be Saul initially, and one of the persons that was persecuting the early church at the time before he got converted on his way to Damascus. If you watch the movie New Testament, you will see the passion. It was they lived out the passion of Saul before he became Paul, how interested he was in the Jewish God, how he was persecuting. In fact, he was one of the persons that led to the death of Stephen, the first martyr in the Bible, right? So it was somebody that his story has been fascinating from day one. But there's a part that I found quite interesting about his story is the part where he said that I may know him. When he said that statement that I may know him, I was wondering in my head that with everything that you've done, with all of the things that you've achieved, with God by your side, why are you still saying that I may know him? Because in this time and age, people that have not even done half, what am I saying? People have not done 10% of what he has done are already feeling as though they are on top of the world, right? But even at the level he has gotten to, he still said that I may know him. And it is quite interesting. It helps us to see the level of hunger and desire that he has for God and for the work of God. And there's a concept called the concept of marginal utility, and that doesn't even apply to Apostle Paul because Because of the marginality, it says that the more of something that you are, you get to, the lesser it becomes interesting to you. But Paul is different. Paul is right. The more of God I have, the more of God I want to have. So the law of marginality doesn't even apply to him at all. That is my third character of the Bible that I love. My fourth character of the Bible is the Pharisees. Okay, so I do not like the Pharisees, right? Because of many things. Number one, they were taxing the people too much. They were too religious. Number three, they were the part that made me say, bro, you guys are doing so much. When Jesus was telling them in the book of Luke that if you read the scriptures, they speak of me, right? And these people did not know. Even with all of the miracles that Jesus did, they still do not believe in Jesus, right? And they are supposed to be the learned one. And I thought about it at some point. I was like, probably we shouldn't blame them for not believing. But I thought about it that if Peter and illiterate and many other disciples are illiterate, if the woman with the issue of blood could believe, if the Samaritan woman by the well could believe, then learned people who are intelligent, who have been studying the Torah and the scriptures for a very long time, waiting for the Messiah to come, they should believe with those signs and wonders, right? But they did not believe, and it took. Anytime I read their stuff, like, these people get audacity. It's quite funny, right? But the people, the Pharisees, were a class of their own, right? And I think they are worth giving a reaction. Finally on my list is Jonah. Jonah is also a fascinating character of the Bible. Reason being, and the part I find very fascinating was when he was in the boat and he saw when, probably they said he was sleeping though, but I believe he knows when the sea got boisterous and the people were throwing out their luggages into the sea. You know you are the problem, and you kept quiet. He knows that is the problem and he kept quiet. Right? That part is quite funny that you will let these people lose their belongings because you did not want to talk. And at the time you talked, you decide that, yeah, just throw me into the sea. Like, why would you tell them to throw you into the sea? You should have done that earlier. But aside from the fact that you could have done that earlier, why would you have that confidence that they should throw you into the sea? Were you preparing? I was thinking about it. That was it that he had the intention that he wants to die because he was trying to run away from God. So was the intention that let me just die, or was the intention that I know that if they throw me into the sea, the sea will get calm and God will save me? Like, what exactly was the thought in his mind when he asked them to throw him into the sea? Like, it's just very fascinating to read. And what exactly, if I meet this guy in heaven, I'll ask him, what exactly were you thinking that you asked them to throw you into the sea? I really want to know the why. I want to know the motive around it. Was it a strategy, or was it just something you want to do to escape God? So yeah, these are my five characters I would love to react to today. If you have any other character that you would love to talk about, do want to drop it in the comment section. I would really love to read it. And this is a reminder for you to always read the Bible. You can use the U Bible version on your. You can download the U Bible. That is what I use every time. You can download it on Play Store or on Apple Store. This is not sponsored, so so that you know, I'm just telling you because I find it quite interesting to use, and I think you should use it, and you can read and be more consistent with it. So yeah, thank you for joining today's video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace out.